Okay, let's get this started. Good morning, Ness. Good morning, Reg. Good morning, Stony. Hope everyone is well. Okay, so as I've said in my text there, I'm not in the brain space to be tackling messing with Kubernetes and playing around with trying to get infrastructure working right this second. So, let's say updates available. So I've been working on, hey, Autism, welcome back. You can mess with AI agentic systems design too. I don't know how far I'm going to take this one. I'm open to suggestions, but I'll start with where I am at this point. So I have a library of games. I track my games through a site that I built almost 5 years ago now. I record as I get a game. I record the condition of it. I record its UPC. I link it to my price charting subscription. I use the price charting API so I can pull in pricing or estimated pricing currently of that game, and I can kind of keep an eye on my collection as a whole. Every now and then I decide I'm going to refresh this, and I get so far and then quit and, and go back to what I'm doing. So this isn't me trying to do the games library stuff. This is not me trying to pivot the stream in an entire different direction. This is me just not wanting to stream failure outright or struggle. I'm not in the mood to start my day that way. So I'm going to start the day just doing something lighthearted and fun. I'm not trying to dig super deep, but it would be nice to see what this can do. For AI UI, what tools do you plan to try out? So right now I've been playing with uxpilot, right? So uxpilot has a pretty good layout, and I've been playing around with trying to generate a layout for what I imagine my game's site to be. Stitch is the brand new one from Google. Ah, cool. So we could try some others if we're interested. As long as I don't have to sign up and subscribe, we are good. I cannot afford any more subscriptions to things to be sat there. I am subscribed to this right this second, and keep meaning to turn it off. Right, but it's still gonna. I assume it would still cost at some point. Let me have a look. So we can compare. We can if we can get a what a silly name. Stitch with Google. Okay. Start new design. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this. This is the prompt from my game tracking thing. Yeah. Well, right now it's doing it for free because I'm not logged in and I don't have a Google AI sub, so we're good there. Yeah, we'll have a look. So I'm subscribed to uxpilot, and I'll show you what it can do in a second. Okay, so I've just pasted the prompt from this, which is the reference prompt for this project, and I've pasted that into Stitch, and I'll show you what Stitch creates in a second. So uxpilot does allow me. I might as well maximize that now that I changed it. This was all a white background, so I was Okay, to minimize. So uxpilot does allow me to go in here and I can interact with elements. Not okay, not in this one. So my prompt here was very much, okay, give me a layout. I want to show games. I want to show recent games. Yep, save for Figma. Yeah, I can do the same things in here. So yeah, interesting, Stitch. I don't remember saying create a mobile app, but okay, we'll drag it over when it's done. So yeah, I can save for Figma. And that plugin is installed on the other side, so we'll have a look at that afterwards. I don't have a Figma subscription though, so that might limit me. But yeah, I want to see my total games, the total copies. Games and copies are not the same. A game is a title on a platform by a publisher. A copy is an instance of that game on that platform. Does it handle code, Jen? Yeah. So this is Tailwind. It's all there. Yeah. So yeah, then I proceeded to say, okay, well, I want a bit more detail, and it gave me this listing. So when I'm going to, so the idea would be this would be my collection, this would be dashboard, right? So the recent games that I've added or played or whatever. This is always useful information when I'm seeing the overview. Wish list. It's funny that it introduces this. It must be because it's a collection. So my game collection right now has no concept of adding a game that I do not own. So if you see a game in my game collection, it will do it. For reference, here's what the current version looks like. We'll minimize that a little bit because it is a bright white screen. So then I proceeded to say, okay, well, let's now go through the process of adding a game. So what I want to do is I want to say add a game, and a game again is a title on a platform, right? The reason I've not added the publisher here is because the publisher can be discovered. So IGDB is a website owned by Twitch that allows you to look up games and title art and stuff like that, right? So my intention here is basically when I select the platform, I will do a search for IGDB. So let's have a look at that. So again, I'm walking through the search IGDB for game information. I don't care about hiding that it is IGDB. I'm not trying to white label this site, right? I'm trying to build something, right? So I select Sonic the Hedgehog for the Genesis, and it pulls up these, right? And this is actually what an IGDB search would result in. I'm pretty certain. Actually, there'll be more Sonic the Hedgehogs. All often Sega, we'll see. And then the idea would be that as I select one, right, again, at this point, I think, am I not in interactive mode? Where are you? That's locked up. All right, yeah, there. Yeah. Good morning, TBD game. A bit late hacking some C++, so I figured I might as well stop by. Maneth, good morning. Good morning. Somehow in there I managed to select text, and I don't know how. But anyway. So then when you select the game and you go next, it will give you the synopsis and the overall, the idea will be the screenshots, etc. Again, IGDB does supply some screenshots, so it might be useful, and cover art. And then when you hit save game, it will save that to the library, is the intention, right? Alternatively, if you don't select IGDB, no. This is a bit of a side project because I do not want to struggle stream. I'm not in the right brain space to be playing with Pulumi and Kubernetes and trying to figure out that. So we're just yeah. I need to start my day with something engaging rather than frustrating, because I don't want a game. If I start my mornings gaming, then my mornings will become gaming. So yeah, so I'm just this is something I'm sharing because I was playing with it. This is partially why I was asking. And good morning, by the way, or good afternoon. This is partially why I was asking yesterday about Vue, React, whatever. Because if I was going to do this, I probably would do it in a new framework to try and get the experience of building something in a new framework, or new to me framework, not new framework. So yeah, if you don't select an IGDB link, right, if you just go continue without linking, it will take you here because then it's up to me to figure out all the information, right? And then further to that, then you get this detail screen. Vue.js is so much nicer to use than React, but React has tons of jobs that want it. I bet you're a Sea of Thieves guy. No, no. So, so anyway, before we go too much deeper, let me show you what the current library app looks like. So this is my current video game library tracker, right? Sorry for the bright white screen. I do apologize. So it tracks my most recent games. It shows the collection as overall. It shows me some stats on the total number of games and the total number of copies of games I have. It shows me the top 3 games per platform in terms of estimated cost right now, like value. I can go in and see. No, I can see the platforms, right? So these are the platforms I have games for. I can see the publishers. I can update the pricing. I can go into here and navigate through the games. So I can jump through all the games, right? And I can look at a game and I can expand this and I can see the pricing over time based upon the pricing updates that I've got. So it's useful from that perspective. It's not useful in terms of I don't update the pricing automatically. It doesn't show me cover art. I would love to be able to use this as a game tracker so that I could play the game and track the game. Like track my progress in the game or whatever that. So yeah. So yeah. Actually, Nest, you say Flutter never gets any love. My most successful version of this library was done with Flutter. I actually liked Flutter. I built a mobile app using Flutter for it. So I have used it. So again, now if you think about this version versus this, I want to see the game title. I want to see the copies that I have for it, and stats and stuff is interesting. Like you can collect those things. I'll show you Stitch 1 second. When I go to copies, I want to track the individual copies because I could have a loose cartridge, I could have a full complete in box mint condition game. So like I said, those top 3 prices on there, they're kind of the best copy I have in its best condition. And it's useful to know, right? So how much does it fit into the actual collection, and does it yeah. Are we going backwards? Or am I looking at the chat wrong? Morning. Oh, you didn't start with morning. You said another project. Okay, so we're filling that hole. And then, remove collection, remove. But the idea being that we'll track the copies, and then additionally we'll add another tab for price charting and show those charts and stuff, so that it's not linked to the copies directly. The pricing and stuff would only appear because I've got price charting. And then the consoles. The current version doesn't allow me to track the actual physical machines I have. So adding that ability in, and then that would go deeper in terms of what SKUs there are, the overall actual console hardware tracking side of things. And yeah, so that's what a uxpilot came up with, and we'll play with it a little bit more in a little bit. Let me show you what Stitch produced. So I gave Stitch the prompt for this. So the same prompt. and Stitch produced this, right? So it listened to it in some respects. It definitely uh, produced me a layout. I don't know where in there I said it was going to be a mobile app. I said tracking app. If you say app, normally you mean mobile, right? So we'll give it that. No, the application. Okay, I didn't explicitly state that it shouldn't be mobile, but yeah. But again, it allows me to add. I don't know why we need a setting screen like that with themes and stuff, but whatever. But my consoles, the games, that's actually a logical way of thinking about the actual layout because grouping wise, that would be useful. So you see in uxpilot. So let me do. Where are you? There you go. And if anyone has any other suggestions that I could actually test, I'm more than happy to try any others that you think might actually be pretty useful. I think I like that more than uxpilot. There's some features that are definitely better. The mobile perspective gives it a different. Like mobile would be the most logical path if I was going out buying games all the time. But I'm a recluse, pretty much. I order on eBay. Things come into the house. I don't go to trade shows. I do not go to other things to look at and find games very often. So if you're out and you're trying to track your games, then it does make sense because you're like, do I own this game? So yeah. I have a Vue Kickstarter template that starts you with TypeScript and Pinia, Tailwind and stuff all ready to go. The only problem is I need to do a pass on it because type default. Gotcha. McNets, good morning. There's what tries Combi. You paste in your image and it converts into code. That bottom nav bar though. Yeah, it's a little bit messed up. It's fine. It's all fine. Move you off there. Don't need you right this second. Whoa. What the heck how did me double clicking get one of those? What did I hit then? I don't think I need calculus 2. Okay. George, good day. How you doing? So, Combi is, guys. Okay. So the thing I found so far. You can send a screenshot, yeah. So the thing I found so far is letting AI go off and generate code. It will make things work. But you really have to pay attention to what it produces. Just because it works doesn't mean it's good. And just because it's working now doesn't mean it will work when you add extra requirements. Combi requires installing. Why? I don't use VS Code. I don't use Cursor and I don't use Windsurf, so that's a no. I'm not set up to use VS Code in any way, shape, or form, so. So George of Legacy, Hell Knight of Refactoring. Tell it be a senior dev and nail it down with tasks. If telling the AI to be a senior dev makes a big difference, why? I think you just need to take it step by step. You do. I'm not saying that I'm saying that it's bad. I'm saying that you have to pay attention. You have to learn how to I have to go to a review meeting, so I'll be back later. Where's George? Take care. Have fun in the meeting. Yeah, it's interesting that that's even a thing. There's a way to make LLMs work a lot better. You have to do a lot of context engineering, system prompting instead of spend format. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I'm under no illusion, and I've said this many times when we've been asked to use AI at work. I've said it's not just using AI. It totally is not just using AI, right? It is having money to pay attention. Are you mocking me saying or are you just saying People working on tooling to make using LLMs suck less. Send you a link to the Figma file. Of the mobile layout of your app. Cloud Flow here, 84 and software engineering. That's cool. So you got the components over here you're constructing things off of. And then, yeah. Thoughts on Battlefield 6? Battlefield 6 looks like it's going to be an interesting one. I really, really hope they nail it, because that would get me back into Battlefield. That'd be a lot of fun. So so let me do this. Let me take this one. There's sorry, Stan, I didn't mean to navigate away from. I forget how to navigate Figma. My brain is not. No, I won't log in. Click on my avatar. Um, Let me log in. Let me make sure there's no login issues. Yes, I have played the earlier ones. I played right back to Battlefield 2. Played a lot of Battlefield 2. That was awesome. One of the first first person shooters I really got into. So yeah, that was good. There we go. Okay, we'll follow Stony for a second. Yeah, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. That's a lot of, yeah, that's a lot of Figma. Yeah. So this is Stoney's app. Stoney's building No Mercy TV. Has a large media collection. Fascination with General Ortega, apparently. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's fascinating. Let's see if we can get this to generate to Figma. So the reason I'm not going to try Combi is Combi requires Visual Studio Code or Cursor or Wind, whatever it's called, and I do not have Cursor, or well, I definitely don't think I have Cursor installed. No, I don't have Cursor installed, and I do not use VS Code, so it's totally not set up for dev. So we're not going to try that, but let's see if we can get. Why is this? Something changed in here. I don't know why. Let's yeah, export to Figma. That's fine. Yeah, I have Claude Code. I use Claude Code's what I've done the experiments with so far, in terms of AI. But that's in my prompt. That's in WSL. What do I want to do there? Let's do this. I don't know what BMAD or Claudeflow is, but yeah. ChatGPT loves me and thinks all my ideas are fascinating. It's quite amazing how positive it is. If you're interested, recently I went through another kind of pass with AI tooling. I tried to generate a Twitch bot, and shared it in Discord, the outcome of that. I'm not being negative against the tooling. I think the tooling is fascinating, and I think there's a lot of chance for us to improve things and improve ourselves through these things. I think we do need to get away from this let it do everything for us, like wildly do everything for us. We do need to stop that being an actual goal and start using it to help us write better individual pieces. So the experiment with Twitch, I was trying to build a Twitch bot, and I let it go too far. So I'm kind of sharing those lessons. So I'm not sharing it from a negative perspective. I'm sharing it from a, I'm not trying to be destructive with it. I'm trying to be, I'm I'm trying to learn from it, and how do I need to constrain it, and what is it going to do, and how is it going to do things. And it did things like put comments in that says, when this is a real product sort of thing. I didn't say it wasn't a real product, so what are you doing? And the problem is that a lot of the AI code is Lego block together. It's not really all cohesive code. So you've got to build a component and think about that component and narrow your prompting to that component rather than the larger system. So I keep doing things like asking it to build a Twitch bot, right? And it goes off and builds an IRC bot, and I tell it, oh no, IRC is dead. It's like, no, look, we can use event subs for these things, and IRC is still fine for chat. Then I pasted it the actual Twitch message, and it says, oh no, actually, yeah, we'll replace that, and it puts that in there, but it actually puts placeholders in there. So you do have to keep on top of it. You do have to make sure you understand what it's doing. So if you are using these tools to build stuff and you do not have an understanding of what you are asking it to build, you are going to get what you pay for. It may work. And that's the scary solution. It may work, because later on it may not be maintainable, because it might be doing very much the wrong thing. I think you do actually want to let it do everything. There's a specific way to do it that even goes beyond context engineering. You're very much vocalizing the current issue, tooling the agents are trying to fix. I don't want to let it do everything. I still want to write the code. None of this has changed that opinion. I do not want to just type in a prompt and let it go. I do not want to just be a code reviewer. Not interested. Good morning, Dota. I want it to help me build better solutions than I build now. And I want it to help me learn better technologies than I know now. And I think I can do that. Draw a fish guy, had the vibe coding eating, he got security host, fun project there. Yeah, I think we're going to find that balance, right? Of, look, I can do something cool. But again, it still reminds me very much of that really energetic, new dev that will, code circles around you as a senior dev, like, oh look, I did this and this and this, I put this together. And what they've done is they've got a lot of examples and stuff and figured out how to tie them together and make them work. But yeah. Right, the future is people building specifications, working on what they want and working alongside the agents to refine the specifications. And then the agent system is just a tool, translate a specification into a tool and throw compiler errors with ambiguities. Right, which means that we still have to understand software development. We still have to understand the coding we're doing, because if we don't understand it, yeah. My heart was unusually high at the gym for some reason. Multitude of reasons. Possible. Our bodies do strange things. But if it's scarily high, you need to see a doctor to make sure and get it checked out. But you'd be focusing on the specifications, not the coding. The coding is very low level now. I want to code. And if I can't code, if coding is not a part of my job, then I don't want to do this as a profession. I'll do it as a hobby, because then I can tinker with it whenever I want. But I do want to code. And so far, nothing I've seen in the AI tooling tells me that it's not going to generate code that is horrendous. It might work. And again, that's the scary thing. It might work. Hi, Phil Schnabel. Yeah. It took me a second. I read back over it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So save for Figma. So what this does is, if I go to Figma now and go to, how do I go to my Figma? Let me drag that over there quickly so that I don't show other things. I think coding is going out the window. The new tools that you haven't tried yet are self-evolving and very accurate. Well, no one has presented them to me yet. And if that's the case, then that's fine. Then I will find a different career path. I'll become a project manager. Um, so how does Claude Flow differ? They're sub agents. Future coding is sitting wait for ages to complete tasks. We all need hobbies. Yeah. I mean, to me, and I'm going to say something that could come across as very mean, but if you don't have the talent to build something, like on your own anyway, and you are generating something with just tooling, and you don't have the ability to understand what that tooling is generating, I think that is a big problem. I just think it's a massive problem. I think it will produce a lot of mess because it doesn't have. No, I don't understand assembly. Are we comparing AI to? Are we comparing languages to assembly? Like, is that what we're saying that AI is the other abstraction that is above the language? Um, um, I like to use AI to get a starting point. Hi to Timmy. Get references on what I can base my searching on if I don't exactly know what I need to search. Yeah, and that's a lot of people using it. The way things are going, AI is turning into the next gen compiler, is turning deterministic. I don't know. I do think that the difference is in the prompts, right? The difference in a success versus a failure is a very yeah, calm on the coffee if your heart rate still boots. So generally, like if your heart rate is not returning to normal, that's when you actually want to. From my experience, that's what I've been told is when you need to just keep an eye on it. But yeah, coffee's probably not good. um, I wonder if it will be able to afford AI in the future when the real cost is pushed on us. Like, that is the start of it. People are developing the tooling very rapidly, though, including me. Yes. Yeah. Um, the cost is the challenge, right? Um, I'm just looking at the Cloudflare is an enterprise grade AI orchestration platform that Revolution is our developers build with. Oh, that's just buzzword bingo. That one. That is made for product teams. Where are you? 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 Untitled plugins, uxpilot, retrieving Figma. Let's see if this generates. So what I've done there is I've gone to the save for Figma and I've done retrieve from in Figma. So that's now loaded that markup from that dashboard into here, into Figma. No, that's in browser window. You're not going to get there. So now we're able to look at the actual markup here. That's funny. I'm pretty sure that didn't look like that, did it? That's interesting that Figma's imported that in a slightly off way. Yeah, Claude Flow looks like a checklist of buzzwords for product teams. When they said enterprise, they pretty much meant they added logging. Oh, we're not going there. So one of the things you can do in uxpilot, right, is you have a few different options. So I've got hi-fi mode, there's flow byte. You can do flow byte. You can also do deep design, which I didn't do the first time. Let's do this. Can I do this from here? Logging till you get far, but not as far as testing. So I can do mobile here. Let's try this. Let's see how it does with this one. Mobile app. Let's use this as context. What do I want to do here? What do I want to say? Yeah, some of my distributed systems project. I made a debug page to test some of the deeper queries. I've started on writing tests for the actual problematical thing now. Nice. Getting the tests in there is useful. Like I very much get the benefit of using the tools. I clearly would take a lot longer to develop something like this. And again, with the code that I developed for the Twitch bot thing on Saturday, it would take me a lot longer than it would to do that. I like the idea of using the tooling to generate the stubs and the structure of the application. I have no issue with doing the boring boilerplate stuff, but solving the actual problem is part of what I enjoy doing. Writing the code to solve the problem is what I enjoy doing, not just solving the problem. Figuring out how do I design the code properly, and it's hard to relay design. A lot of people are coders. They can write code. Doesn't mean they can design systems. And that's where I think it does still pose a problem, because you don't understand what you're asking it. You don't understand what you're structuring it as. You don't understand any of that. So it's most one precious. Yeah. We are, even at its most advanced, it's still going to be taking pieces and putting them together, and it might figure out more context of how these pieces to get together. But yeah, I get that it's doing cool things, but it's also costing a lot as well, and the cost is increasing. Claude, hey, you get 5-hour windows, right? Oh, by the way, we're introducing weekly limits on that money that you're already paying for a product. We're going to just now narrow it even more, so you get less from that. And again, it's pretty. You can do a lot with those tokens. I'm not saying that you don't get any freedom, but I'm paying them $20 a month, and I'm getting less. Even if I don't and I think a lot of people aren't utilizing it the most, but as we start to push people to utilize these things, those costs are going to increase because those servers that running on are going to need more power, and more power costs money, and more servers cost money, and it's a problem. So the more we lean upon it, the more this is going to cost in general. Let's not mess around with the mobile. Let's not do that. I want to pivot this view. So what I want to do, take them, that, move that over there. Let's edit that. Global edit. Show a layout toggle. Need to toggle between list and I pay $20 for ChatGPT. It works better at night than it does during the day. Yeah, and doing my Claude experiments, right? I've hit the limit multiple times and then had to wait. And people are using, Apex uses cursor, and he switches between the different agents to try and keep up the pace, right? But the people who think it can only do what it's been trained on are just wrong. I've not met anyone that, like, I don't think I've given that impression of myself. I don't think I believe that. Like how granular those Lego blocks are is pretty granular. So like it can piece together a lot of things. Yeah. Now super sensitive about that word. Show a layout toggle that will allow me to toggle between list and grouped by console. And it's this stuff that I want to get better at, right? Writing more effective. Like that might not be the ideal way. There might be some techniques and things that I can use that will give me a better result there time and time again. Also, when people are like, oh, you just let the agent go off and do this and you go do something else. I don't know about anybody else, but I am very, very bad at context switching. So remembering what I told this agent to do, then starting another agent and then doing another agent and stuff, I'm going to get in a mess. It's not going to work. My biggest fear is I have enough time on my hands that things are happening that I get bored and play video games. Yeah. So you see, I've got a lot of tokens here because I've let them stack up a little bit. Yeah, so it added me a console versus list. Section edit. Show a search bar and more results with paging. Is there an AI that can produce good jokes yet? I don't know. Nest is pretty turned on with these things, it seems. So if anyone knows, I'd imagine Nest does. AI is best used to make better abstractions, which can still basically only be done by extraction. Abstraction through extraction. So that Figma did not go well. Let's remove that. See, I can also use uxpilot inside of Figma here and produce it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we've got a search, we've got paging. It did exactly what I asked. This is a feature they've recently added, this edit sections, so you can just play with this particular section rather than trying to regenerate the entire thing. You can't start by making Google abstraction. You write a bunch of code, learn some things, then extract the shape of actual problem into the right abstraction. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Throw enough stuff at the wall, and then figure out how to shape it properly. So over here, what I'm going to do is reference this one. When I toggle to console, I want to see a list of consoles with a number of games. Let's see. Again, trying to figure out, what gives me the results, what doesn't give me results all the time. So as far as this goes, I enjoy this. This is actually kind of fun from a UI UX perspective. I actually enjoy this. I think it's going to create. If you look at this and you look at Liquid Sky, right? They don't know about each other, but the style is clearly the same, right? The style is in there. There's some elements of Liquid Sky that are been done by me, but other elements that have been done by AI tooling, and it has a style. uxpilot does have some free credits. Morning, Frank. But I paid the $20 a month, whatever it is, for this as well. But now everything's $20 a month right now, so something's going to break eventually. I use AI to minify my shader and assembler code, and then comment it for me when it's been minified into oblivion. See, there I get why that's necessary. Yeah. Yeah, you totally didn't understand. You did kind of understand that, didn't you? What that's done there is suggested that I've selected PS5. However, let's delete that one. Do that. Reference that. When I select console, I should see a screen of boxes with the console names and the number inspired console. Let's see how we do with that one. Hey Tickle Monster. Hey there, I've been looking so I didn't quite catch everything. I'm actually wondering, does this allow you to bring Figma screens and iterate them in any way? So this will allow me to export to Figma, which we'll do in a second. So I can push it to Figma. I think you can iterate on it in Figma, potentially. We'll give that a try in a second. Now, this does have the facility, like I said before. Now I can edit text. I can actually change the text of any component. I can edit a section of the page and focus it, like it to generate something different there. I can change this entire page, and it will give me. You'll see there's a number up here. I can actually go through the life cycle of this or the iterations of this design. Still not understanding the so I'm going to say this is a me problem. Declip monster. um, I think this is me not understanding how to prompt it properly. So let's do it this way. Um, when the user selects the console tab, again, it doesn't understand what the console tab is, so that's going to be a challenge. I don't think I can reference. You can't reference a component. You can reference a screen. They should be shown a screen that lists the consoles. It had the consoles as reference. It understood what a console was, so it's not like I've told it. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Again, I'm doing this today because I'm trying to just have something that's a little bit positive for the day. I'm not in a good space from a struggle perspective on Liquid Sky, and I do not want to start my day with total failure. If this doesn't go well, this is fine. This is me tinkering and toying, and this is a every now and then bit of a side project for me. So, consoles and the number of games for each console that shows a. Hey, Radio Patrick. Good morning. How are you doing? Funny enough, I've been tickled. If you are not aware, maybe is building a on Friday streams is building a social networking platform with AI. Going to be a little bit more successful than I'm ever going to be with it, just from what I've seen so far. And I highly recommend checking that out. Right, nap time. Have a good day. Arnath, rest well. Take care. If you are streaming, by the way, drop it in my Discord. I'll keep an eye out for that. But I don't always catch it because I'm not always watching Twitch at that point. So yeah, take care. I do like to come and hang out. So so this is the challenge, trying to get my vision into this. Like I have, tell you what, let's do it this way. This is what I'm thinking of, right? I'm thinking of this, but here. Right. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, backspace. Why not make the delete key? Okay. When I select, when the console option is selected, or the view toggle, I want, so let's go here. I think you can only reference one. Yeah, you can only reference one. I want to be able to see the list of consoles and drill down console to see the list of games. Let's see if we do any better there. Again, just trying to look. I've got plenty of credits to use. Just trying to learn how can I get the most out of this tooling. How can I get it to generate what I want? Yeah. Less thinking, more doing. To get stuff, just do it. Stop analyzing everything. Huh? Trying to learn how to use this tool to get the most out of it. I have plenty of tokens to use. I'm rich. Or I'm wasteful because I don't use the tokens I have. We're not winning, are we? We're going to add a third console and call it done. It's not. Why does... that's the most appropriate face for that. Okay. Cyberpunk and Halo it what was. Oh dear. At least it's consistent. Okay. Don't know where he's getting the pictures from. Master Chief, the early years. Actually, that's more like Master Chief Witcher 3 edition, right? Oh dear. Okay. Or we can just open the developer tools. I like how I'm always this guy. It's done that. It's actually done that to me in several mock-ups so far in different versions. That's the guy that's used as the profile pic. So I'd be interested to know if it actually does that for other people. Like, does it give, if you do something like this where you get a profile pic, does it give you the same picture or does it give you a different picture? Why not make delete the delete key? Backspace is not the delete key. I want that to be the option there. Yeah. True. No, there's a delete key on the Mac keyboard. Delete. Indeed. Uh, Point made. It says delete, not backspace. When searching, when listing the games, I can select list or console. When I select console, I want to see a page of see panels representing each console with the name, and the total number of games owned for the console. It should be obvious. Click. Games. I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting with the language. I'm experimenting with the structuring. I'm experimenting with trying to get it to do what I want it to do. Because if you're generating, the point is, if you're generating a UI and you're using these tools to generate this, you need to be able to generate the piece you're missing. Because if you're not using this for everything, why bother using it, right? If you're going off and winging some of it and making up the controls, why bother, right? I like this. I think is a nice workflow for adding a new game. I'm okay with it being a few step process. The current version is a lot quicker. I add a game. There we go. Add a new game. That gives me this, which gives me the expansion, and then I type in the details of the copy of the game. So the current version is a little quicker. However, I don't link this to IGDB. Right now, when I add the game, I go here and I can search price charting for the actual game and link that pricing to that game. But you know, the workflow is good. By the way, there we go. We got what we wanted. That's what I was envisioning. So we've selected the console tab. We can still search. I don't know what search does. Let's make that make more sense. So let's do I should see all the consoles. Should be no paging or paging. Let's see what that does. Yeah. For those that are interested, what Nest was talking about before was Claude Flow. Oh, damn, finished. Done. This piece here is the piece that I don't enjoy. The I have to sit and wait for it because I can't context switch. I can't do anything else right now. It's hard enough talking and doing this at the same time, let alone going off and trying to do something else while I'm productive and then coming back and realizing this was sat here for ages and I didn't move this further forward. So I don't do well with the mental game of playing, you know, switch the task, switch the focus, etc. So yeah. Okay. I like how Steam Deck is listed as a console. Like I don't count, so I do not count Steam Deck or PC as consoles. I do not count them as platforms for physical media, so they do not get listed. Modern consoles, the Switch 2, I do not own. And unless Nintendo change a lot, I don't think I will own a Switch 2. You know, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series, they are on the limit of that in terms of media. Yeah. Yeah, talking of media, Stony also streams and is building a media platform and a Twitch bot, depending on which one he's doing. But No Mercy TV, which he was kindly showing us before, I navigated away. But he's got a lot of Figma designs for that. Yeah. But he streams development of No Mercy. here on Twitch. Okay, so I think that's what I was envisioning. So let's take this one. Save for Figma. All right. Let's go to Figma. Now I don't have the code gen in Figma. TV UI today, most painful platform to develop for. Oof, I can imagine. Cool. Now, how would I take this? Okay. So I'm starting a new project, right? Let's say project Game Trove 2025. Angular, Next, Nuxt, React, Vite, Vue. What do you choose? I've seen a few thank you for the shout outs one line, I appreciate it. Frank is another good morning. Another .NET developer and streamer who streams on Fridays mainly recently. Been doing his 2D6 game. I don't know if that schedule is going to change at all, Frank, with your new role. Congratulations in person, by the way. Blazer, of course, is what I'd choose. I would guess you'd choose Angular since you're the most confident. I'm looking to use so when I build the game stuff, whenever I do this, it's a side project, side project. So it's like when I pick it up and want to play with it, I do that. Like if I'm sat here on a weekend and I'm bored and I want to do some coding, but I don't want to do heavy stuff, I pick up these projects. So this is I can use this as a chance to pick something I don't normally do. React and Vue, or Nuxt or Next, are kind of the job building right this second, right? This would be extending my skill set with a bit of an experiment. So far, I think the schedule will stay the same. Thought about making an app for my Samsung TV and saw what it took to do even basic things with Tizen and quietly put that back on the shelf. Yes. Stoney's been developing his No Mercy app for quite a while. I would highly recommend checking it out. You can also ping him in Discord. He doesn't reply to Discord messages because he has them all locked, but if you ping him directly, if you want to know more, he will share. He does it all publicly and does share the code. So we're going for all the shout outs today. Radio Patrick has been I haven't caught many of you haven't done many dev streams recently, have you? You've done some gaming. You were playing some games last week, and then you do movie nights on Thursday with Bear, and you watched some, I can never remember the name of it. It took me ages to figure out what it was because I missed the beginning, the first 5 minutes, and then watched the rest of the movie on subtitles. But yeah, okay, so what am I picking? React is the most, from a jobs perspective, React is the most asked for in terms of job specs right now, right? So if I see a job listing, it's either and a client framework such as Angular or React or something like that, but not required, or it's React. It's rarely Angular on its own. It's more often than not React. That being said, is is there a benefit in going with one of the others? I tried to go in order of who I saw appear. I can cut back. No. I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout outs. I just want to make sure that I actually, give everyone the fair shake of the actual shout out. No, I appreciate it. I did some programming last night for a bit, but yeah, I've been getting a bunch of overtime and burning the candle at both ends lately. Oof. Will burn you out. Mr. Anhorn, good morning. Today I've been playing with uxpilot to develop, to play with, building game library. So we've been using uxpilot to generate the entire UI UX. This does, by the way, put some interactivity. So it does allow me to do some things, right? So it can, highlight what it does. So yeah, what I was going to do then is just set up a new app and see if we could get a page showing in it before the end of the stream. So I can export it to Figma. Nest was around earlier on. Nest recommended a few different tools. We kind of went down an AI rabbit hole for a little bit in terms of tools. So Nest pointed towards BMAD and Claude Flow. But as for doing this, I'm not sure. So I know I can generate the code from Figma. If I pay for Figma, I can. From here, I do have the option of seeing the source code and exporting the document. So I can do it from within here. It's not very great, but yeah. I have a PLC that uses MCP that hooks into Jira and Figma to generate a UI. Oof. Off a set layout, like a boilerplate template, or just generate stuff. Figma paid. Okay, yeah, got it. So what I was talking about is, right this second, if I was to start a new project, right, looking at, skill building. Gotcha. That's what I was kind of asking. Yeah. I'm not going to do that for a while. I'm just a single dev working on this, so I can't dive into native apps for each platform. So I'm using Ionic with Vue. That's funny. So if I was going to build something right now, would I use React? Would I use Nuxt? Would I use Next? React Native, no. Vue.js, what do I build? So I'm opening that generally up as a question to people, like, what would you, if you were trying to build some skills right now for the job market, what would you use? Wasm. HTML5 boilerplate. Fresh beans. Yep. I'm not a web dev. HTMX. HTML5 boilerplate. Sorry. HTMX is not an option. Vite. React. So that's the recommended way of doing that one. Okay. Radio Patrick, you're not being helpful. Silverlight is way too advanced. What is meant by Tanstack? Tanstack. Netlify and TownStack have joined forces. Good. ASP. Yeah. Let me download VB6. We'll do some ASP pages. Open Silver is a thing. That's just terrifying. See. I see I sent this in an awesome direction. Thank you for the follow, by the way. That is an awesome name. Welcome in. So no matter which way I go at this, I'm going to be... Again, if you look at the job market right now, if you look at like front end, back end development styles, React is still very much the popular one. Next.js, Nuxt, etc., they're not really mentioned in job listings. Vue is rarely mentioned from what I've seen so far. That's a good point considering what I'm doing, right? Hey, Claude. Okay. So, what we're going to do... Everything disgusts you. Disgusts you. If I built stuff based upon what you agreed with, there would be very little building. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Gemini and I'm going to ask Claude the same thing, right? And let's see what they come back with. Okay. So my point is, and I'm using this as a kind of, references. If you're going to start a new project today, if you've got something that you like doing, like the game library stuff is something I love doing, right? It's something I understand. It's something that I have a passion for. It's something that I've got actual meaningful data with, which means I don't have to do a lot of learning about the domain. I don't have to do a lot of learning about what data structures I'm storing. And I've actually got the database, right? Because I've already got a library of games. So it's about the UI. It's about this. So I have the opportunity to get some experience in something I haven't done before, and it be meaningful for me because I understand it. So if you are trying to build skills, look at what's out there. Look at why you're picking something. Don't just pick something because you want to be contrary or you want to be, you don't like all this framework stuff. If you're looking to build a skill set and to keep those skills, relevant to the way businesses are working, you've got to understand what they are, at least enough to talk about them. Okay, so here we go. So Claude said, so the prompt I gave it was, I'm looking to start a new project and I'm not sure what technology stack I should use for the front end. I've been recommended Next.js, Nuxt, React, Angular, and Vue.js, but I'm not sure which one is the best from a career building perspective. Right? That was my prompt. Being contrary to everything is a luxury of, being, in a position to have that experience to be, and it's fun, but Nothing like an hour-long meeting to make one look forward to the workday to end. Yeah, I've got probably about 5 hours of meetings today. So yeah, hopefully that makes the workday go quicker. Honestly, I think learning Blazor stuff for React Native, since React Native can be cross-platform, that is a very good point. Yeah, I've been seeing more postings for Flutter as well. Flutter, little harder to, yeah. I'm gonna do things to be contrarian. I like everything and everyone until I have to talk to them. Then from there it goes downhill. Okay, so here's what Claude said, right? So looking at these front-end technologies from a career building perspective, here's how I break them down. React stands out as the strongest career choice. It has the largest job market, highest demand, and is used by companies of all sizes. The ecosystem is massive and React skills transfer well to React Native for mobile development. However, it requires more decision-making about tooling and architecture. Next.js is essentially React with opinions and server-side capabilities built in. Since you're coming from a server-side background with C#, Next.js might feel familiar with its full-stack approach. It's increasingly popular for modern web applications and a strong job market demand, though slightly smaller than pure React. Angular aligns well with your existing skills. Coming from C# and .NET, you'll appreciate Angular's opinionated structure, strong typing with TypeScript, which you already use, and enterprise-focused architecture. It has an excellent job security, especially in enterprise environments, though the job market is smaller than React's. Vue.js has a gentle learning curve and is growing rapidly. It's particularly strong in certain markets and offers good work-life balance opportunities. The job market is smaller but growing. Nuxt is more niche but powerful for full-stack Vue applications. My recommendations for career building: React, Angular, Next.js. So it would, based upon my skill set, it'd put me as Angular, right? Not. I haven't actually told it. I haven't told Claude that. Let's see what. So Gemini gave me. I'm not going to read it all out again. React is the top choice. So React and Next.js. React consistently has the highest number of job openings globally. Learning curve is generally considered easier to learn than Angular because it's a library focused on the UI layer. Yeah, so they both recommend React. Now, Gemini doesn't have context of my C# experience, etc., so that didn't influence it in any way. But ultimately, it was React and Next, Angular and Vue. Vue is a growing contender. So you could look at it as learning Vue is going to be or Nuxt is going to be have the potential if more of those developers that are using Vue get into the job market, right? Because they'll bring it with them. Sorry, you guys were talking while I was doing that. It's like me with tech. I like all tech I have until I have to use it in prod, and then it's downhill quick. Wait, you don't know everything? Then why am I here? Why would Vue offer good work-life balance? I'm not sure why Vue would offer. I was trying to figure that one out myself. Yeah, like, does it do everything quicker? Yeah. The more I work with TypeScript, the less I call it strongly typed. Not wrong. Again, it's, optional, right? This looks very similar to the reasons I picked Next.js instead of ASP.NET. No stress. Back when I was choosing the tech, yeah. So it does matter, because if you're picking a framework as an employer, you've got to look at what the job market looks like, because you want to have a skill set that's out there, right? Now, you could argue that having a bunch of jobs out there asking for that skill set means there's a lot of people that picked it and don't, yeah. Suggestedly typed, yeah. So so the recommendation from this tooling is to use the Vite bundler. So use Vite with React, right? That's what that is. Do I want to do React? I probably do want to do React, because I don't want it. Next.js, I'm not looking for server side. I'm not looking for full stack, right? So I don't need. It makes the strong suggestion that Next is full stack. Yeah, I don't need SSR or SSG. So maybe learning React is the right path here, because then I can move to next once I understand React, right? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't have an API essentially yet. I'm starting this project from scratch. Database is the only thing that's getting moved. So Game Trove 2025. Let's create this window. I probably have like 5 projects so far this year called Game Trove 2025. But npm install. So I haven't tried React in a few years. Yeah. Frank, thank you very much for coming and hanging out. I hope this has been fun. Have a great day. Honestly, a UI like that might make Flutter shine. It's highly async and the widget-based code structure lends itself nicely to compartmentalized UIs. Plus, the project itself isn't wildly complex, so you aren't likely to run into edge cases that Flutter struggled with. Yeah, like I said, I have. Is it on this machine? Android Studio 2022. It's been a while. Hang on. There's the game. I do have the game library built in Flutter as well, or a version of the game library built in Flutter. So I have tried this. I liked it. I liked Flutter. I think it was really nice. I didn't have any issues with Dart. I thought it was actually. I mean, the structuring of the page is a little bit mind-breaking, but then, considering what I'm about to do with React, it's probably going to make sense to me more. But yeah, I had a lot of stuff working, so I could navigate, see games, list the games, etc. Yeah, all async loading and stuff. So yeah, I have played with Flutter. Okay. No, go away. Okay, so this is my least favorite time, is the orient myself. Actually, do the right thing, make sure it builds. I skipped the npm install, didn't I? I don't think I clicked on the npm install thing. No, I did. Okay. Why would that make a difference? I hope that isn't the case. Oh dear. I love it. I love the fact that it doesn't build out the box. There's nothing quite. This is why I was avoiding code today, by the way, because this matters, right? Like the UI UX is fun. Taking it from a concept into an actual application, it is kind of the logical step. Turns to go in Maui. But this is this. So I updated this beforehand. Is this a npm version problem? Is this a, npm-v 1092 node-v 2215? Is it upgrade or update? Or do you upgrade npm through node? Take care, Nets. Nets, sorry. Nets. Thank you for coming hanging out. Appreciate it. Is it a node version problem? Is it a, right, so bump, 943 remaining items. Oh my goodness me. 22, 1092, yep, that's right. Deleted no modules, ran, tried, reinstalled. Please advise. 19 hours ago. That's what I did. I just did that. I did exactly what it told me to do. That's... Is it in... Would it be in... Why would that be a node? That wouldn't be a node problem, though. It's the packages that... What's the latest LTS? 2218 is the latest LTS. No? Reboot machine. Yeah. I'm using the same PC I've always been on. I'm not using a new machine for this. Oh dear. Not to where I wanted to be. No, it's probably a C++. Oh, the C++ compiler doing anything. Doesn't have its own way of doing packages? I don't know. Does it? This is an out-of-the-box project, right? So Vite plus React. So maybe this is your world. So out of the box, WebStorm created the Vite plus that and an npm dev, but that breaks. How do I do that? I chose Vite. So this is a brand new project using Vite plus React, right? That one package needs to be compatible for your platform. So I just hit go, right? npm dev, and it does this, right? So is that a tooling problem? Or is that a me problem? It's a suggestion. npm install Vite at Well, again, I created a new WebStorm project that had Vite plus React. So I didn't start anything from. Oh dear, this is. So what's the point in having templates in here if they don't actually work at all? So, yeah, say create, right. So according to this, right, if I do a new project, so if I go to React, it says using the create React app is not the advised method. The preferred approach is to use a template with the Vite bundler when using React. So you go here to Vite and you select the template, right? That's what the website is actually, yeah. But the Vite website is saying npm create Vite, right? So it I get it. I'm not debating that it might be right through there, but that's an interesting challenge. Uh yeah, so if you look at the website, right? So npm create VLA is the follow project. You can also directly specify the project name and the template you want, for example, to scaffold a Vite plus Vue project. Yeah, so that's what that's meant to have done using the create Vite package. That's that. It's just a shortcut for it all. I'm not debating it. I'm not like it's not. Where the hell's this now? Hey Mars, good morning. It's it's fascinating. Does it create the folder for you? npm create Vite at latest. Oh, you're just messing with me. Okay. Need to look. Make lunch. Be happy. No worries. Uh, finish this up. So sorry, I'm typing that off screen because I've got my window below. However, that should now open. Okay, so that looks very different, doesn't it? But I chose React plus TypeScript V here. I didn't select that before. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So now, edit configurations, add new, npm run. So it suggests npm run dev. Oh, dev. That's that. Derp. Same problem. Look at your package JSON. I selected React and TypeScript. Same error as before. npm run dev. Oh no, that's a different error. Oh no, same error. Cannot find module at rollup win32 x64 msvc. npm has a bug related to optional dependencies. So same error. This folder structure definitely looks different, but then again, I selected TypeScript this time and I didn't select TypeScript last time. So some of that I'm pointing down to that, but it's the exact same error. Try yarn. $22.15. The LTS. Higher than that. So you think install that as an independent? No, hold on. npm config list. No, time my command. Why is my OS set to Linux? Why did you set my OS to Linux? Why is that? Windows. I didn't change this. So why is that? Where are you? OS Win32. I do use WSL, I suppose, but hold on. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's assume that, yeah. Maybe saved it. There you go. That's interesting because when I searched for that error, nothing hinted that that was a problem. That's where the discussion is. You got that. Where did I get? What did I get? What did I search then? Okay, so it's not. Does it tell you why? I probably didn't search that package. I probably searched the error message to the right. Gotcha. Enjoy your food. Why does it change that? The error appeared with a Veet version upgrade. I never used Veet. Well, no, I do use Veet because Angular. Ooh, I wonder if I wonder if Liquid Sky will now be broken. Okay, but there we go. Veet plus React. See, this is where my brain breaks, is the whole markup with the code thing. My brain does not do well on this one. To not use import modules using an absolute path. Awesome. Okay. No, we can't because I've got a meeting in 10 minutes, so. Oh dear, it would be nice. So again, what I searched was the message to the right about the install problem. I did not search the specific package, figuring it was a problem caused by the thing to the right, not the thing to the left. The thing to the left was the indicator. So that was just a search fail on my side. So yeah. If you're going to bring up your stream, Stoney, do it now. And we will come over and join you. We'll do some .NET dev. Don't forget to talk through what you're doing. It helps. Be live. Okay. And that counts for anyone. If you are a streamer and you're hanging out in here and you do .NET, you do, you know, .NET's like obviously my normal, so I'm happy to join into a .NET stream. But if you are a streamer and you are streaming around this time, you're more than welcome to tell me. You can do it in Discord. You can do it in there. I don't care. And if I have followed you, I will definitely help support other streams. So I will likely tinker with this in my spare time over the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to bring this back unless I get stuck on other Liquid Sky things. So I hope some of it has been interesting. I realize that it's not exactly what some people were expecting. They really wanted more of an AI deep dive, I think, in terms of this. But AI has helped me generate a UI. AI has helped me, you know, brainstorm some of these ideas through. Streaming now. I've been logged into work for a couple of hours now. Oof. Morning trap. But yeah. So anyway, we are going to go and raid over to Stony Eagle. Stony is working on his No Mercy Media server. I would highly recommend hanging out there for a bit because it is a good place to hang out. You know, yeah, if you're doing co-working, it definitely is helpful, and he'll take away. But yeah, I will continue on with this in my spare time. I appreciate the help. I appreciate the contributions. Thank you very much for everything. And I will be back tomorrow. We're back on a normal schedule right now, where I will hopefully have got some progress made on Liquid Sky later this evening, to the point where I'm not frustrated and I'm ready to get those sagas implemented properly. So thank you. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. No worries, Ono. We're going to go raid Stony. Stony is a great streamer. And Finiflix, hello, welcome in. My apologies to catch me at the end. If you have interest in what I've done in the past, in other things, that all my content goes to YouTube, all my streams, 200 something Liquid Sky streams are up there. And the Discord is always open if you want to hang out and have a chat in there. We do have some good discussions in there. It's not active, but there's a growing community there as well. So thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Take care all. Bye.